Hello guys, and welcome once again to another session of What's Up EU. My name is Daria and I'm from Romania.
Hello, my name is Eleftherium from Greece.
And again, we're presenting the What's Up EU. So, what's up with you, Ele?
So, what's up EU, Daria? We expected. So, what's up EU is our very beautiful online meetings that we are doing every 2 Mondays. And we are talking about different things, different styles, different situations about Europe or about the whole world. So, what's about tomorrow? See you.
So, today we're going to discuss something. Actually, I think it's quite interesting and something that could possibly involve all of us. We're going to talk about active citizenship, and we actually have some really nice guests today. First of all, we have Stefania from my dear country, Romania. Hi, Stefania.
Hello, thank you for your invitation.
Glad to have you here. And also from Romania, a lot of people from Romania today. We have Gigi, my dear friend from there. Hi, Gigi. We cannot see
hello.
Oh, hi there.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for joining us today. And all the way from Germany, we have Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hello. Unfortunately, we cannot hear you still. Let us know. We will proceed with the question and let us know if the situation changes. Okay. All right. So, talking about active citizenship. Talking from your experience now, all of these people have great recommendation regarding the subject. So actually, this is the reason why we cherry pick them. So we will start with Stefania. Ladies first and beauties after. What is an active citizen for you, and is there an age limit for that? Like in your experience, what do you think about that?
Well, an active citizen to me, it is simply a person, any person which is committed to sustain the well-being of their communities. I see basically any community as a system in which every person and every individual has their role and they should bring out their contribution. So even if you talk about a small city like the one I'm from, in which I activate, even if we're talking about society in general, we all have to do our part so that everything is better for everyone, not just for ourselves, but we are included.
That's a wonderful response. Thank you very much. Gigi, what about you? What is an active citizen for you? And the question if there is any age limit for that.
Mm-hmm. So for me, someone active is a person who sacrificed something for the well-being of someone else, as Stefania said. You know, there are people who do this as a job. Like during this pandemic, we talked about the essential workers, you know, who actually spend a lot of years studying something to become specialized in some fields that are very important and save lives of people, like medicine or firefighters and other fields, you know. And then there is this average person who sees a problem in the community, like someone who needs help, especially, and he actually does it. He actually goes and helps that person. And for me, an active citizen would be both. Like I still respect the professionals. So about the age, I think there is no limit. Like you can help even if you are 5 years old. If you plant a tree or a plant, that can help the future or the community at least. You know.
Exactly. That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Gigi. Ele, what about you? What do you think?
For me, active citizenship is like, if you know the story from Platon, ancient Greek story, with a cave, that the people that have the knowledge must share it also with the other people for free or for sure. And there is no age limit for me. I mean, not from 5 years old, but basically, why not? But of course, if he or she can, why not to do it?
I met some smart kids, so.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not a kid anymore.
No.
I will be 25 in 2 weeks. And it's something very healthy for people to do it.
Absolutely. Michelle, can you hear us now? Or
Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
perfect. Yes.
Excuse me, please.
No worries, no worries. You're just in time, actually. So I will repeat the first question again. In your opinion and your experience, what is an active citizen for you, and is there any age limit for that?
I think it's a person who is active in society to achieve common goals. And I think there isn't an age limit for that. Children and pensioners can also participate, and all people who want to make a difference can do something.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Michelle. Also, for me, I have, like, you pretty much said it all. I also think that an active citizen is because Gigi talked about like the professionals, the first line workers who are preparing their entire lives for this. But also, let's take the common citizen just off the street. And I think it's also being proactive, doing things for the good of the environment, for the good of the society, just because you want to, without being asked, without being requested by anyone or someone else, or paid or noticed by anyone else. As he said, you just see it. Okay, I see this, trash on the ground. I just take it. I don't owe anyone anything, but it's just me, And I think because of that, in my perspective, being an active citizen or a proactive citizen, it's more like a state of mind. It's about, what kind of person you are. And regarding this, a lot of people, I met a lot of people, and they just say, like, I would really, really love to get more involved. I would really like to be more active. But I just don't have the resources. Like, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the sky over, I don't know, I don't have something. So what is your take on that? We will keep with the same order. So Stefania, what do you think about this?
Well, resources are of many kinds. As you mentioned, there is time, there is effort, there is finance. But I think it's not an obstacle, as it is a factor to consider. I mean, you can be involved in what you believe, it's right to do, and what you support, and what resonates with you as a person. And that involvement can be from a donation to a simple share on Facebook, because any kind of support is beneficial, and it helps, and it is needed. And I think at the end of the day, such a saying of I don't have the resources is simply an excuse out of commodity.
Right. Thank you very much, Stefania. Gigi, what about you? What do you think about this?
Well, the first answer was nice. This okay. So when I think about the resources, I remember a discussion I had with some friends a while ago, and we were discussing about how the people who have a lot of resources can help others. Like if the rich actually want to make poverty disappear, they could do that in like hours. And I was thinking, okay, I'm not from that part of the society, and I can still help. And a friend told me that, even if you are not very rich, there might be someone who asks for help. And what are you gonna tell him? Like, oh, I cannot help you. I don't have money, or I don't have time, or I don't have anything. And when you have time, or you have money, or other resources, that person doesn't need help anymore. Like, you have to actually take action in the moment someone needs help.
Yeah.
It cannot go later. So when I think of this, I realize that I have a lot of resources to help people, and I still do, not as I want to. And this is another thing, because sometimes I talk with people that are very involved in the society, like actually volunteering, like all day, all night, and they are like, I cannot do more. I lack resources. I lack time to do more, and it's like you are already doing your part.
Yeah.
But this desire to do more can still be there, even if you are very active. So
Right.
I think for the people that are not getting involved, it should ring a bell, because there are a lot of things that we can do with what we have.
Thank you very much, Gigi. Michelle, for the same question regarding the people that say that they would be more active but they lack resources, what is your take on that? What do you think about that?
I think you can do a lot of things without spending money. In Germany, there are a lot of volunteer projects. About a third of people in Germany over the age of 14 are involved in voluntary work in associations, foundations, or projects, and many more want to become active. And
that's actually wonderful. I didn't know that about Germany. So it's nice.
I have a good example when you want to hear it.
Of course, of course, anything is welcomed.
Okay. At the age of 12, girls and boys can join the youth fire department, which exists in almost village and every volunteer fire department. There they learn important basics for later firefighting service. And in Germany, there are around 23,700 fire departments with around 1 million active firefighters and around 350,000 members in the youth fire departments. This makes the fire department one of the largest groups in Germany, dedicated helping fellow human beings. Around 95% of firefighters in Germany are volunteers. They do not receive any money for their service to the community. Firefighters, volunteer firefighters have normal occupations. They earn their money as bakers, opticians, farmers, or teachers, for example. All occupational groups are represented in the fire department. When the alarm is raised, they leave their workplace and rush to the fire station. Employers have to give their employees time off for firefighting missions. Also, a lot of people are dedicated at the German Red Cross, caring for seniors, helping after accidents or disasters, serving in clothing stores or soup kitchens, providing first aid services at events, or accompanying refugees, working with children and youth, and much more. The opportunities to volunteer with the German Red Cross are diverse. Excuse me, please. I'm very excited.
No worries. Oh, you're very sweet. But that was a wonderful example. First of all, it's all new information for me. I think I speak in the name of all of us. And yeah, it's actually very pleasantly surprising. It's really amazing what's happening there. So thank you very much for that example. It's something to take note. Ele, what about you? What do you think about this?
So about this, because I'm coming from a very small village somewhere in Thessaloniki, in the north of Greece, I agree a lot with these kind of people that there is lack of resources. Yeah? Because I'm not a very technical person. I mean, I'm not very much on this. I am on the social media a lot, but I prefer to do things like active things, like active citizenship, not online citizenship. Oh my God, why the words are so difficult?
It's okay.
And for me, that I'm living in this small village and the people don't have motivation to do nothing. I don't also have this motivation to help in this village. But as long as I was in the university in Corfu, I was doing a lot of things because the resources were there. A lot of young people were helping with everything, with the university, with the arts, with the city. We're doing many things. But when you live in a village, it's very difficult. At least in Greece, you can do many things active.
But for me, for example, when people say they lack resources, I think the biggest asset that everyone has is themselves. Like my biggest resource is myself and my brain and like my own power, right? We are all here like educated people. I think we have the knowledge either like to help someone with homework that needs it, or like these kind of things, as Michelle said, they are mostly free. And like if we refer to country life also, I think there like active citizenship would be, I don't know, during the harvesting season my neighbor Anna needs a helping hand, and I just proactively offer and be like, look, I can help you. And I think that's also active citizenship. It's like getting involved without expecting anything in return, and just having yourself as a resource, like your will to work and your knowledge in general. So I think resources is not just having, as Gigi said, a big wallet and a full bank account and just sponsoring every child in Africa. I think that's not everything about active citizenship. But regarding these kind of things like lacking of resource and stuff, what do you think like are the most predominant real obstacles that discourage young people to get engaged in active citizenship, in your opinion? Stefania, again, the same order.
Okay. Well, I've been part for around 3 years of in this program, youth program called Youth Bank. And in Youth Bank, in each year, we practically had to recruit new members. So this is a question we've asked ourselves a lot. How do we get more adolescents to come and engage in what we were doing? To give a little bit more context, in Youth Bank, we had to raise funds over the course of 6 months, around 6 months, so that afterwards we make this, we give these funds to other high schoolers to implement projects in the community.
Wow.
So how do we make teenagers want to spend their special and precious time with us and to make events was a big question. And I came to the conclusion that it is a very personal thing. I mean, everybody has their own answers for their own reasons for which they do not practice activism or any sorts of activities for the communities. But most of the time I saw that there is a lack of awareness. People do not see why it is important. People do not see, maybe they didn't have anyone or any context to give them this information, this idea that it is important, even if you don't change the whole world and society is the same the next day and the city looks the same the next day, there's still an impact. I think most people really look only at the big picture and at how every person is important, and every person doing something slightly better is makes the whole image a bit better than it was before.
Right.
So that this lack of awareness and maybe commodity, yes, I think it's commodity most of the time, but I do not blame anyone. I mean, I've learned not to blame people for not engaging, because that puts a wall between you and them. And how could you inspire them to do anything if you see them as lower than you or in a negative way? I think everyone makes their own choices, and it's okay to do and not to do. It's your own choice how you involve yourself.
Exactly. Like, I think also, like, not attacking anyone for their personal choices. I understand. Gigi, what about you? What is your take on this?
Hello. So first I want to say that I really like Youth Bank. It's a very nice project. They help the high school students in a town which doesn't have so many opportunities as the big towns, you know. So besides high school, they don't have something to do, so they have a lot of opportunities in this organization. Okay, so first when I think of obstacles, I would think in a direction of motivation, you know, but I cannot answer the lack of motivation without understanding what motivates people to volunteer, to be active, you know. So talking with people that involve in community or help people, I get a lot of answers. Why do they do that? You know, some people do it without reason. They say, like, they just feel there is something to do, like to be done, and they see that they are able to do that, and they just do it. Others, you know, just do it because their friends do it, like they have something to do together and they get involved in some activities. This is a good example with the organizations, student, young youth organizations, or even others. To get in one of these organizations would be the first step to get involved, you know, in the community. And yeah, again, more answers were like, because they want to develop themselves. It sounds a bit egocentric, but it can be a reason.
Right.
Others because they have like what is a duty, you know, they were not helped when they needed, and now they want to help. So okay, this would be the motivations, and the obstacles. Why can't you get this motivation? Would be first, I think, because you don't talk with people that can inspire you. You know, like if you talk with someone that is very active and is helping others, you will feel that energy. You will be like, okay, how can I help you? And you would want to do that. So to resolve this, I would say that we have to find people that inspire us and give us advices to do better, to help others, to get involved. Other reasons would be that we are so used to the comfort zone, that the community that Stefania said, that we don't want to do anything that is new. We don't want to get out and do something that is beneath our comfort zone. So yes, I think the same. This would be very important reasons. And one more would be that some people don't know how to help, or that they can help. This is very important. If you are aware that you have some resources that can help others, or that the help you are making to the community has an impact, you would do that, definitely. But if you don't, I think you would just ignore it. Sorry for taking a long response.
No, it's good. We are all learning here. It's nice to debate this way. So thank you very much for your response. Michelle, what do you think about this? What are some of the most predominant obstacles that discourage young people from getting involved in active citizenship?
I agree with Stefania and Gigi. I think that some young people have no desire and time to get involved. They are only busy with themselves and don't want to leave their comfort zone. They complain but cannot get up. It's what I see here.
I understand. All right. Thank you very much, Michelle. Ele, what about you?
I agree, of course, with everyone, but I want to say more on what Gigi said about if a friend of yours is an active citizen, you can be also like him, because I'm a person who has panic attacks and also anxiety attacks, not very often, but I have them. So for me to be with a person that I know that we're going to go together to be active in something, it is really helpful. But in Greece, I mean, through the years, we are very known about being a very helpful country with everyone, helping, like giving everything to help. But nowadays, there's no so much education about this.
Right.
I mean, even the people in Greece, they don't know, for example, the Erasmus Youth Exchange is nothing. I mean, it's very good, but it's something small that don't even know that. And there's lack of education, unfortunately. And also, as I said before, if you live in a small village, it's very difficult to do things. It's not only about the money, it's also about the transportation, because if you don't have a bus to go to the next village, it's very hard to help other people. And that's all.
Regarding what everyone said, I was thinking about, everyone talks about peer pressure. We can say here like a positive peer pressure, where you have a good entourage, people that actually, encourage you to be an active citizen instead of encouraging you to, I don't know, engage in unhealthy behaviors. Regarding the obstacles, I also think it's most of the times commodity, but and also, as you said, I really like that about the lack of education, the lack of information. A lot of people don't know about the voluntary opportunities, because if you get engaged in an organization, then they have already the resources. You just have to volunteer there. So the lack of information is one main obstacle, but I also wanted to talk more about like also the physical obstacles. There are people that simply cannot because of certain disabilities, and here we talk like people who help and people who need to be helped. I think it's also important to take that into consideration before generalizing. But we also have like a surprise question from a viewer from Geek Association. I think we can show it.
Let's see.
I think, yeah. So many people believe that in order to be an active citizen, it's enough for you to vote in the election. What do you think about this? This is a sensitive topic. Thank you, Geek Association, for the question.
I think we can leave it there.
Yeah, I think we can leave it there for a reference. So, what do you think? A vote it's enough for you to be considered very active? What do you think? Stefania, do you want to start?
I am quite puzzled by the question. I never considered that people think that just by voting they are an active citizens. I never saw it that way, but it's a very interesting perspective. I think it is definitely an act that promotes and that reflects active citizenship. It's very important to go to vote into elections. I mean, I've experienced that because I just recently turned 18, so and I'm very interested in politics and so on. And for the latest year, there were like a lot of more elections that I could not participate in, and I felt really bad seeing all my friends go to vote, and I just couldn't But I did basically my part of talking about it and spreading this push to go and do your part. I think it is important, but I don't know if it's enough. I mean, what is the measurement after all? How do we measure active citizenship to know what is enough and what is not enough? So that's all I can say.
Thank you very much. Gigi, what about you? Do you have an opinion on this?
Well, when I think of elections, people going to vote, I think that they put the responsibility of something, of action, to someone, And then I think that, okay, we vote someone, he gets elected, he does or not does what we want. And we still have something to do. Like we can still get involved.
Right.
I wouldn't say that it's enough or it's not enough. But if we can do more than just voting, we should do that, definitely. So the answer would be like no, because we can do much more.
Exactly. All right. Thank you very much for that. That was very nice. Michelle, what do you think about this? In order to be an active citizen, is it enough to vote, or it require more?
I think it's a good way to change something, but the most people here think that it can't change everything, so they didn't go to the elections.
I understand. Thank you very much, Michelle. What do you think, Ele?
So the elections since the ancient years is like the base of the democracy. So what if a person is going to vote for something that is not democratic? Is active citizenship also? Is it like enough to do this, or is it that you have to do it?
Right.
And it's not enough for sure to only to vote, because voting is very important. I feel I'm not 18, I'm 25 almost, and I have missed a lot of elections, even though I could vote because I was studying in another place and we can't vote if we are not in our places. I felt very inactive, right?
Right.
The opposite, yes. And it's something that you have to do. It's active citizenship for sure, but I don't know if it's
the beginning of it.
It's at the end of it. I mean, what if you vote for like a fascist party?
Depends who you're voting with, I guess. But also, I'm thinking that voting, of course, it's important because it establishes like who is going to quite like run the country after. But the leader of the country cannot decide, cannot control how people behave with each other in the communities, and I think that's why voting it's not nearly enough. It's just like it's nearly a symbol. It's a symbolic thing. Because I personally know people who in Romania was this entire thing about go vote, it was a big campaign, and I personally know people who went out voting and they did this big social media on stories that, oh, I voted, I'm an active citizen, and I personally know them, and I know that in their daily life they they throw trash on the ground and they behave poorly. So I think just bragging about it, it can, of course, it can give you a really nice image, a really nice social status maybe, but it's nearly not enough. It's like
1%, no, 0.5.
Yeah, it's a symbol. It's a symbol of active citizenship. I think you prove you're part of that. You are using a right that you have, and I think it's important of, first of all, knowing your rights and using them. Also your responsibilities in the same time, because it's important to know that you don't only have rights. But thank you again, Geek Association, for the question. It was really nice. Moving on with our own questions, how is the situation in your country or city, more specific, because we have here 3 people from the same country? Like, do you see a lot of people getting involved or becoming active, or what do you see that is the general mindset around you? Stefania, what do you think?
Well, I'm not gonna talk about the country because, as you said, I will leave Gigi to do that. So I'm from a small city, but I feel that my small city is an exception to general small cities because we have this community foundation that is very, very active and well established and does a lot of activities and really engages the community for its benefit. So in my city, even though we are a small number of people, I think around 20,000 people or less here because migration and all that. I think that in my city, people are pretty active and most especially young people are very involved. Of course, it's not like the whole high school goes to events to volunteer, but there is a considerate amount of people. And this foundation brought a lot of people together and basically taught the community about volunteering. And also Youth Bank was really had an important role in this phenomenon that is in our city. And about there is definitely there are definitely two sides. There are supporters and skeptical people. You cannot have just one. But I think I am an optimistic person in general. I think there are more supporters and more people that engage and more people that like these activities. And I have a little story if I can share it. So here in Fogaraj, the Community Foundation has this annual event that is like really big. I mean, last year it didn't happen because of the pandemic, but it's called Bikeathon, and it's a charitable event in which people come to cycle, I don't know, very long distances sometimes, for different causes, for different projects, to raise funds for them. And I was a volunteer at the last two editions. And at the first edition that I was a volunteer at, to note, I'm a very lazy person. And everyone that's ever been a volunteer at a sports event knows that you have to be up very early in the morning there. And in the first year, I didn't wake up in time, so I took a cab to the event. And the taxi driver was like, was seeing me with this cap with the Bikeathon and the T-shirt, and was, "What's that?" And I explained, it's an event, a charitable event that's happening. People are cycling for projects, and he was having this attitude that, "Oh, but they're not winning anything out of it. There's no outcome. Why are they doing it? It's a waste of time, basically." And I kind of felt offended. I mean, I could not be offended. But the fun thing is that the second year, of course, I was lazy again and I took a cab. And this new taxi driver was like, "Oh, today's Bikeathon, I will come later. I hope it's still up. I hope there's still something going on." And that was a really impactful change for me to know that from year to year, people really start noticing that things are happening.
Wow.
And
that's a whole new attitude, actually.
Yeah, me and taxi drivers.
Well, in Romania, there is an entire, let's say, culture around taxi drivers. There's a lot to talk about there. I think in any country, but Gigi, what do you think about the question, about the topic?
Okay, so this was regarding the city and the country. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, about the city, Brasov is the same city in which Daria used to live. So when I think of Brasov, I look first at the organizations that are active, because the biggest impact as a volunteer or active citizen you can have through organizations. So we have some organizations, namely for students, for high school students, for young people. We also have Erasmus Student Network, and I think they are not big enough, or they don't have enough impact on the community, because when I look on other cities, I can see better examples of what can these organizations do. Like they make big events, or they make big fundraising or crowdfunding, or they do big stuff. But then I think that these situations some years ago was even worse. And then I realized that, okay, this is not what it's in another place, but it's improving. So I like to see the better way, that in time it's gonna be better. And regarding the country, so some years ago, I think like the whole population of Romania was sleepy, and then we had some social events, let's say, that changed our mind and made us active, especially the young people, because before there were some protests that were about money, like we want bigger wages, we want I don't know, less taxes. Okay, but then there were some social movements in which people stood for goals, like valors, and this kind of changed the discourse, because when you are helping people, or when you are active, it's about valor. It's not about money, it's not about time, it's not about the resources. It's about what you trust in yourself or in others. And right now, I think after some years of awakening, we are still on the road to be an active country, let's say. But I see that comparing to Germany, this is wow, like they are very organized on this. Like Michelle said, I'm very impressed with everything they do. But this took years and years of organizing and learning and improving. So respect.
Thank you very much, Gigi. If I may change a little bit the order of answering, just because I'm also from Romania. Regarding what Stefania said, you said that your city is an exception. I don't think so. I'm also coming from a small city which used to be a capital at some point, Târgoviște, which actually in a different region of Romania. It's in the south. And I traveled a little bit, I mean quite a bit, through Romania, through small cities, and in different regions as well. And I was very pleasantly surprised by how much the high schoolers, like they are taught from early ages to get involved, either through signing up into competitions, either through I remember even being in primary school, and the school was organizing like planting trees and this kind of small things. And for me, that was kind of built in since I was a little girl. And then in high school, we were given as students even our own space in the local newspaper, so we can express our thoughts, so we can write creatively. And I think that was very important for me growing up and in my development. And also a lot of associations, volunteering associations, organizing charitable concerts, like made by high schoolers. Like actually, we are all under 18 years old, and just with a very like small support from our teachers, as much as they could do for us in regards to like giving us the space to organize them, but yeah, and also in regards with what Gigi said, I think Romania was very well shooked, let's say. Like a lot of things happened on this like social point of view that really awakened the mindset of people. And in the past years, of course, we're not there yet, but I see a progress, and I'm very happy to see that. What about you, Michelle? You told us a little bit earlier, but maybe you can tell us some more about how is the situation in your city or in Germany regarding this active citizenship? How is the general mindset?
Michelle?
It's okay. We will continue with Ella in this case. Tell us about Greece,
So,
sunny Greece.
sun, yes, we volunteer for the sun. We are workers of the sun. Because we had this kind of economic crisis. I don't know if you know, we had this crisis the past 10 years. And so all these voyager things are like collapsed a little. Now they have started again to rebuild and to make more things.
Right.
And also in the schools now they're starting doing more about
Right.
active citizenship. And I forgot that one, to be honest.
But actually, I know a lot of volunteers from Greece. I know you from Greece.
I am. Yes, but it's like now that happens. It's not like the past years. It's very modern. We also, I think, yes, I think we won also the Nobel of Peace. For being volunteering to help the immigrants.
Okay.
On the islands 3 years ago, 4 years ago. That was completely volunteering. And also we have in the hospitals volunteers, a lot of doctors volunteers, teachers volunteers, but something very modern. I would say it's not something that we had before because of the crisis. But now because we're in a better situation, it's a little.
I understand.
So because we have a technical issue, I have to leave for a second. So we can continue with.
But I will be here, so no problem. What I wanted to say, while the single Greek here is missing, I will talk about Greek people. I'm sorry. So I wanted to say that I've been part of a few youth exchanges actually over the years, and all the time I met Greek people. They were very, very involved. Like their attitude towards actually being active was really nice. So I was pleasantly surprised about that. All right. So moving on to the next question. Is everything okay? The technical issue solved? Okay.
And blood everywhere.
Hopefully not. No, only peaceful people here, so everything is fine. Okay, so we talked a lot about like what is means to be an active citizen, and we gave a few examples and how each country is getting involved. In your opinion, what could be the impact that active citizenship can have on the society, like the way it can shift the society, or what do you think about this topic? Stefania, we will start with you again.
Okay. I think that the impact is definitely hard to measure because it's not tangible. But what I see around me and in general is that people coming together, people making groups of initiatives, and therefore increase social trust. I mean, increase people, more people trust each other, start trusting each other. And that is very important for a community to work, because if I'm very, I don't know, skeptical of my neighbor intentions all the time, I don't know how I would get along with them and the community. How will it get along? So I think it has an impact on the way people's relationships in the community evolve. I think it has an impact also on the quality of life in the community, because of course, if people start picking up the trash and making campaigns about why it's important to care about the environment will be better, will only have positive outcomes. And also one thing to mention would be that the society might become more empathetic. The society might start to care about others more. Okay, society. It's I don't think I said it right. I mean, you get what I mean.
I know,
That
again.
we'll start to be more caring of one another.
Right.
And that as a trend would be very nice.
I think we all need a little bit more empathy in these times.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of love. So, Gigi, what do you think? Thank you very much, Stefania.
So I will start with an example. I've also been a part of a organization, a student one, and we had this weekly meetings every week, So I remember that after these meetings, we used to go out and in a bar, and talk until the bar was closing. And there was one guy from this organization who was actually very sad, and he was staying on a table alone. So I went to him and I talked with him. I wanted to see what is his problem. And I don't know. I don't remember exactly what exactly was, but I'm very supportive usually. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna do whatever you want. You're gonna succeed. And I gave him a gift, and I forgot about this. And after like 2 years, I think, I got out of these organizations. When we do this, we say some speeches, and other people say nice things about us or bad stuff about us. I don't know. And this guy came with this story, and he said, "Oh, I want to tell you how Gigi changed my life." And I was like, "What? Did I do that? I don't remember really." And he recalled this episode. I was like, "Whoa, that was not a big deal for me. Like, I really forgot about it." And then I remember a quote from Schindler's List, which says that if you save one person, you save the entire world.
Right.
So I think that the impact that us can make in the society is actually huge. It can be huge for one person. Like you can actually save his life, as this guy said, or you can save more people if you want or if you can, or you just make a better day for someone.
Right.
It's something you do for the society. It's something you do for other people. It's helping, and I think that it's not very important the impact, but it's very important how others feel this impact.
Mhm.
So I think that the example I gave was very concludent for my idea.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gigi. Michelle, what about you? You told us like the amazing things that are happening in Germany. What do you think like the impact of active citizenship is there?
Also, I think I'm a very social person, but I could get more involved. In my free time, I help older people in their daily life, or I support children with homework. At time they have homeschooling because the pandemic, and it's difficult for the students. They are happy for support, and the parents will be relieved. It's
Right.
difficult after work to help their children with homework,
Right.
and I think I have enough time to help there.
That's wonderful. So basically, just like taking the pressure off the parents as well. That's
Yes.
wonderful. That's actually really, really, really great. Thank you very much, Michelle. And what about you? What do you think about this?
I think if there is this active citizenship in the community and also in the countries, the people can be also more open-minded
Right.
because they're going to share knowledges about different things. They're going to meet also other people from other religions, other sexualities, other everything. And also, if sometimes the society doesn't help you so much to do things. doesn't love you so much, to be more correct. But if you love the society and you want to do something for this, you can find 1, 2, 3, 4 people,
Right.
maybe 5, to make something good for the society, and then they can think, okay, something's happening here, let's
Right.
work on it, and they can be like more involved and more empathetic
Right.
in this very healthy, as I said before, things. What about you?
What about me? I think I agree with Gigi. He said like even if you can impact one person, it's more than enough. Because sometimes I feel like we forget the value of one person. Because we are so used as big organizations, like working in corporations, we are so used to put people into numbers, and everything is quantified. Every statistics is how many people, and if the number is small, then you know the situation. Maybe, oh, you impacted just one person, come on, that means this event didn't have success, because we are taught to quantify the success like that. And I think we should shift that. I think we should change that. Even it's like it's one human being, and that person will, because it's like a chain, it's like a domino effect. That person, it's going, is like Gigi inspired his friend. He's for sure like if that stayed in his mind, that is going to stay in his life for the rest of his life. So he's going to do the same to other people, and so on and so forth.
And also, sorry, it's if you are going to impact one person, it's like in Greece we had lockdown for one case of corona. So this kind of case started going to the whole Greece. So why we can do this also for the active
Exactly,
citizenship?
we can learn from
It's
something
not
bad.
that easy to give it to other people, but if you try, you can do it.
Right. As my mom is, for those people who don't know, I'm from a very big family. We are 11 children, and I talk to my mom often, and sometimes she says like, I have this feeling like I didn't do enough for the community, like I didn't like fulfill a role, and she's feeling like, she didn't, basically she just didn't do enough. And I'm like, you basically helped 11 human beings to reach maturity and go into the society and contribute to economy and actually be respectable people that are loved and respected in their communities. I think that's like giving a very good solid education to 11 people. I think that's more than enough, and it's quite hard to do, to be honest.
And you're a
But
small village also in your family.
it's not a yeah, it's like a village in a city. Yeah,
Is like
exactly.
a small village.
Exactly. Something like close enough. We should make our own village name.
Do you vote also in your family?
Voting who has the leadership. We do that.
Oh.
But also I think, yeah, the impact could be, as Stefania said, empathic as well. And something that I thought about, accountability. I think this is a good impact, because people will start being more active, and they are going to hold their peers accountable for their action and be like, hey, why are you doing, I don't know, maybe discriminatory jokes, or why are you behaving like this? Why are you littering? Why? And friends are going to start being accountable to each other and actually not encourage bad behaviors between them. And I think accountability, it's one of the best impacts that, or traits that a society can have. Because if a society can be held accountable, and if they're actually answering for their actions,
Yeah.
I think that's a sign of being healthy, of having critic judgment, and being able to say, yeah, it was my fault, being able to, like, as a whole society. I think that's important. So we are getting so close to finishing this beautiful episode, and I wanted to get more personal here, the juicy stuff. So I was just curious, how did you get into all this active citizenship? How did you become an active citizen, Stefania?
Well, as I mentioned before, for me it was youth bank. I entered high school in 9th grade, and basically I was this shy introvert girl in the corner of the class, hiding there, not sulking at all. And yeah, I've applied to enter Youth Bank because of friends. I mean, that you mentioned before. Like friends pushed me and said, I think it would be great to join this group and do stuff. And basically in Youth Bank, I've found this sort of safe space, safe haven for me to talk, to basically share my ideas and contribute to something. And from Youth Bank, it went on and on with many opportunities that opened. And basically, yeah, that was my lucky charm that got me into being an active citizen. And I'm very thankful for it, and I hope everyone will get the privilege that I got to be part of such a great community.
That's a very, very lucky charm. Thank you very much, Stefania. How about you? How did you become an active citizen?
So when I started to volunteer, I think I always was some kind of helpful. But I want to recall one moment in which I actually started doing this organized and like full time, I would say. So I was studying at informatics. My life was boring, I would say. Like I was just staying on computer, like doing nothing. And I was feeling bad because I couldn't help myself, you know, this feeling. And I was like, okay, I need this change. I changed a lot of stuff in my life. I changed the faculty. And from that moment, I made like an oath for myself that I will be inactive and I will help other people not to get in my situation, to have something to do in their free time, to make the university more enjoyable, or actually to help them learn stuff like soft skills. And I first started doing something in a student organization that was making TV show on the local TV station, you know. Okay, when I started there, I was very shy. I was not talking with anyone. I just got my role and I was like, I'm gonna do that. And after I got better at this, I wanted to start working more with people. So I felt that there is an opportunity to work on a real student organization. And I got in a local organization. Oh, I hear some noises. Oh, it's better now. And there I helped organizing events in the university. And we had some achievements that I'm actually very proud of. Like we got the first hackathon in the city. So we have some faculties of informatics and computer science. And these big cities have competitions like 24 hours, 48 hours. And we actually wanted to bring that to Brasov. Like, why aren't we making it? So we got a lot of knowledge. We copied an event from Bucharest and we brought it to Brasov. And other achievements, I would say. But there is this feeling after, when you look back after all this time, that I didn't do enough, you know, because it's complicated sometimes. Like what we were doing was pioneering, you know, and we had a lot of obstacles. We were talking about them. And we had to go to university to ask for stuff. They were not helping us. We had to find a way to make university help us, or we had to find a solution to help ourselves without the help of companies or universities. And it was such a fight that I feel that we could have achieved much more if we had a better context. Like imagine if we had a problem with the hall in which we held the place we held the city. Like the university didn't want to give us that. We had to beg them to do that. And imagine if this could have been very easy. We could have made maybe more events and bigger events and impact more people. But I think that I made something and I feel good about it.
I think that everyone that knows you, it's like they know you as an active guy. For me, actually, it's surprising to find out that at some point you were shy, because I remember you dancing samba in Brazil during the carnival. So I don't know what you're talking about there. So, but thank you very much.
Well,
Gigi.
volunteering helps. Okay.
Thank you very much for your answer. Michelle, what about you? How did you become an active citizen? When did you decide that?
I work in a surgery as a medical assistant, and every day I see a lot of people and help them with their that they get well. And after work, I want to have a little bit silence. I need some time for me. When you see a lot of people every day, it's sometimes too much. And I think I could more involve, but I don't find a way for me as a I need time to find something that I can do for citizenship.
So for you, getting involved like every day with the patients would be like your way to be active there.
Yeah, yes, of course.
That's beautiful, Michelle. Thank you very much. Ele, how about you?
So for me, as I said, because I'm from a village, so I wasn't so much like active. Even though I can also say that active is to make people laugh for free. So I was doing that a lot in my school. But after, when I went to the university, my department, audiovisual arts, they helped us a lot with a lot of festivals, events, everything, social media, and they gave us the power to create things and to evolve into these things with big names. Like we have very big names as guests in these festivals, big names of the art, I mean. And that's how I started to be more included in the activization.
Activization.
And then I found also the Erasmus. I mean, and then I found that I have to give the knowledge to other young people to go for Erasmus. That's why I am like one of the reasons that I'm here now in this institute to promote activization. I don't know, is this a word?
I think it's active citizenship.
I know, but activization
activism.
Activism.
Yep.
I don't know. I like activization. I don't know. So what about you, Daria?
For me, activization. Oh man. Well, the more you know. So for me, I think I just grew up into it. Every spring in Romania there is this thing to have the spring cleaning in the house. You know, it's to like something about the spirits, the Easter, and a lot of things that I don't know in detail. But so my mom would be like, we have to clean up the entire house, like no one is living here. And we would go through all of our closets and be like, you didn't wear this in the past 3 months. We're putting it in a bag and we're giving it to poor people. And I think it started there when I saw just my mom like cooking for neighbors, for people in need, even though like we didn't have a lot ourselves. But she was this example of getting involved without actually being asked to. So I think, and then as I said, I grew up in I was fortunate enough to be in active schools and high schools as well, where the teachers and also the students were really active, really, you know, getting into the activities. And little by little I got used to just do it, Nike.
Is it things that you don't know that you are doing them as
Exactly.
an activization?
I didn't know the words. I didn't know it's called active citizenship. I recently learned them.
I mean, I don't remember anything from my school period without being it from my school, because I was doing also like the active things, but I didn't know that I was doing these things.
Exactly. Because it becomes, and I think that's the goal, in the end. I think that's the goal, for people to actually become active and not even noticing it. To be like the new normal, not to be, like something special, like, oh, you're such a wonderful person that you're active. Like, for me, this is what I encourage, like, all the people, no matter how old, no matter how young. Just, being active, let's normalize that. Let's make it normal. Let's make it like this is the way we should be. We are all part, and I think this pandemic also taught us this. We are all part of the same system. Let's just behave responsibly, and we'll all survive, I think. Right?
Exactly. Active is a new black, I guess.
Yeah. Let's make it something like trendy on all social media,
So
like
many hashtags today.
hashtags and TikTok and Instagram and whatever. Oh no. So I think we are ready to close this. I wanted to thank our guests for being part of this today. It was a wonderful conversation. I think it's always good to debate active citizenship. And again, thank you very much for joining us. What about next topic?
The next topic is going to be after my birthday, which is not as Valentine's Day, but is my birthday. So on the 15th of
He's
February.
single.
Always. But I always have presents on Valentine's Day. I even don't have like a
That's the life.
Anyway, on the 15th of February, we're going to talk about love. So it's going to be about LGBT community. And we're going to have also some other artists, like drag artists.
Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil no more.
But we will play our intro or outro or
everything
once again. Again, thank you to our viewers at home for watching this episode, and I really hope that is going to have a good impact in the mindset of young people. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Au revoir. La